What's good, y'all? It's your boy HB. Final round. Do a little film study for the upcoming fight with Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez. Look, man, we already know that most likely Canelo's gonna win this fight, but you never know. You never know. Maybe Canelo comes in with the fucking Rona or some shit. I don't know. And he feels like shit and he doesn't perform well, or I don't know, maybe Caleb Plant has the best fight of his life. You never know. You never know. If you do know, then why even watch the fucking fight? And some people may make that argument and be like, well, I'm not gonna watch the fight. I'm just gonna look at the results. Fair enough. But for me, I know in the sport anything can happen. You know, it could be a legendary night. We might get a firefight. Most likely, yes, Canelo will dominate. Okay, I give you that. But this is why we watch the fights, man, because of that unknown factor. Maybe he can dance around for 12 rounds on a tightrope and pull out the biggest upset in, you can say, today's era of boxing. So let's check this out, man. Let's just see what Caleb can do, and let's see what his strengths are. Let's see what his weaknesses are. You know, like I said, you never know, man. So I know a lot of people think this is pointless, and you know, I'm looking at old film which doesn't reflect the fighters, but that doesn't mean their style's not still intact. That doesn't mean they still don't have certain tendencies. And at the end of the day, man, you just never know. You never know who shows up. I mean, it's happened throughout history. Is it frequent? No, but it's happened throughout boxing history. And on top of that, I just love the sport. You know, it's not just for fans, it's for competitors to understand what's going on technically in terms of what's going on in the ring. That's why I also do it. It's not just for film study in terms of fans, it's for film study in terms of competitors and trainers, to see how a fighter operates, to see how a fighter works, how they're thinking in there, and their game plan, their strategy. So, you know, I got a lot of criticism for, you know, referencing film. You know, somebody commented down below and said, you know, why would you look at film of a fighter from 10 years ago? And it's just like, dude, when I played college football, we were looking at films from, I mean, think about college football. The roster is changing from year to year, and it completely changes like every 4 years because players are graduating and leaving. And we would watch film from like a decade ago of a team. Okay, maybe they have the same coaching staff in place, or head coach, or some coaches in place, and maybe the same program, or something stays intact, right, to where we feel we can get a read on something. And you're always looking for advantages. We were looking at film that didn't even reflect. A lot of times we look at film that doesn't even reflect the same team we were going to be up against. But it's all about tendencies. It's all about strategy. It's all about looking for any holes in your opponent's game, and looking for advantages that you can get for whatever reason. And it's really deep. Obviously, I can't dive into that anymore, but you know, this is what professional competition is about, finding every little edge you can. But look, the fight's about to start up. Let me light my cig. Grab my motherfucking coffee, and let's get this show started, man. Let's see what Caleb got. Uzi, I'm just gonna call him Uzi for short. I can't pronounce Caleb Plant's opponent's name spot on, so I'm just gonna call him Uzi for short. I apologize. Uzi sounds cooler anyways. All right, Caleb Plant comes out strong. Hook cross combo. And immediately he's going to the back foot. Nice jab to the body by Caleb. He's going to need that against Canelo. Oh, see, that's where the opening is. Look how Uzi shot his little counter jab when Caleb came with his own. Caleb got caught. And Caleb's being very sharp and active with his lead hand. measuring with his right hand, taking taking a page out of Guillermo Rigondeaux's book, measuring with the power hand. And Caleb's moving nice right here. Gets in the corner, gets out, throwing nice combinations. He did that to create some space for himself. He let his hands go. He's trying to get respect from Uzi. He needs a little bit more space to work with. He's getting backed up. Uzi's putting a lot of pressure, cutting off the ring fairly well. He's just not throwing his jab enough. Nice. Uzi comes over, wants to come over with the overhand. Unfortunately, Caleb rolls it. And look how Caleb gets back to the center of the ring. He wants that real estate back. Nice move. Nice move for positioning. Utilizing his jab very well. The only problem I have with his jab, sometimes it looks like he's pushing it. And boom. Look at that. Uzi should throw his double jab all night because it's there. I think that's going to be a really good punch for Canelo. Nice combination by Caleb. He throws a nice little double hook. He goes downstairs and comes back up top. Very nice but risky combination. And Caleb's trying to get some respect, get back to the center of the ring. Throws a nice right hook to the body from time to time. That's fairly good timing. Pawing with the jab, trying to find where he's at in space, find the distance. Has a good guard, keeps that lead hand down to protect his body. Can see everything very well. I wish he would throw more feints though here, especially on the ropes. Throw more feints, man. That was a bad move by him. He tries to pivot to the inside. Didn't really work. Good jab to the body by Caleb. Unfortunately, his jab is obviously nowhere near Mayweather's jab. It's not as sharp, and like I said, sometimes it looks like he's pushing it. Nice little move to get back to the outside so he can get back to the center of the ring. Second round, let's check it out. I wish Caleb would throw more feints, man. He's got to mix it up, especially when he gets his back to the ropes. A feint's such an easy move, Just give a little head feint. Doesn't take much, not risky at all. Right here, Uzi's coming out hot, man. He's putting a lot of pressure. He's not respecting Caleb Plant's space. But I like the idea of what Caleb Plant's doing. He's saying, hey, I need to exchange a little, try to get some space. But here's the thing. That's going to be very risky to do with Canelo. I don't think you want to engage that early with Canelo. Move around a bit, water him down, and then you can start standing your ground. But I like the idea of it. He's aware that he can't keep on getting on his skates. And nice, beautiful by Caleb. Fucking beautiful. I mean, the way he smothered Uzi, pivoted to the inside to get the real estate back and get back to the center of the ring, and then he turns Uzi into a hook. That was more of a flash knockdown than a knockdown based off of power. So he just caught Uzi off balance. I like how he goes to the body after the knockdown. He was looking for the finish, but he sees that Uzi still has his wits about him, so he's not going to go and take any more risk. Caleb with his back to the corner, trying to get out. So he throws that lead hook, throwing a little suppressive fire to back his opponent up, give him some room to work with. And that's not good. You see how Caleb got caught with that right hand. That's going to be there all night for Canelo. Uzi not using his jab enough. That double jab is there if he wants to use it. That 1-2 is there if he wants to use it. Caleb, being 6'1", being a little bit bigger than, say, like a Mayweather, who I'm not going to say he emulates Mayweather exactly, but kind of the same philosophy in some ways. Being 6'1", man, he's a bigger target. So there's a little bit more you can kind of chew off that bone than, say, a small Mayweather who's very tight, compact, doesn't give you much to work with. See, he's getting caught with that shit. He can't get caught with that shit. And see, right here, when he's stuck in the corner, he's being aggressive in terms of throwing combos because he's trying to get out. Why not throw the lead right hand like Mayweather, switch your stance, and then smother Uzi and clinch, instead of trying to throw combos like that. Uzi cutting off the ring well. Caleb tries to clinch, doesn't get it. Not as refined in his clinch game as Mayweather. The reason why I keep bringing Mayweather up, because Mayweather, I think he should take a lot of pages out of Mayweather's book when it comes to the fight with Canelo. Mayweather had these little fine details that separates him from most other fighters, and especially if you're a fighter who's trying to emulate that in some sort of realm of, being a back-footed fighter. You should pay attention to the fine details in terms of the clinch game. Caleb coming out strong, trying to get some respect, going down to the body. Both in the center of the ring right now. Coming out strong. But can he sustain it? That's the problem. I like he's in that shell. Only problem is he tends to get caught with some jabs and 1-2s when he sits in that shell. He needs to lower his level a little bit more, bend at the waist a little bit more. Catch some jabs with his right hand. He doesn't like to catch and shoot like Mayweather when he gets in that guard. Smart move by Caleb. He kind of repositions himself to get back to the center of the ring, or have his back to the center of the ring. Changing his guard a little. I like it. Putting his lead hand up. Switch it up a little bit. Doesn't throw his jab as nice from that guard, though. Yep. See how Caleb gets caught with that right hand? And Uzi's not even throwing a good body attack at Caleb. Can you imagine what Canelo's going to do? He's going to constantly be throwing attacks to the body. Counters. He is cutting off the ring fairly well, though, considering he's not using a jab or any sort of body shots. Feint. Why isn't Caleb feinting? And see, he's just not comfortable catching and shooting from that Philly shell. Ooh, and I like that. That was a nice move by Caleb. He makes a very strong move to get back to the center of the ring. He does a little switch. I think he threw a right hand, and he followed up with a left hook. He did a little Fitzsimmons shift. And when he switched to that southpaw stance, his left hand now turned into the power hand. He was able to back Uzi up. But Uzi, relentless in his pressure. Nice clinch by Caleb. Only thing I don't like about that clinch is he'll kind of throw himself in an upright position, and then he'll try to grab the clinch. Unlike Mayweather, he'll lower his level, smother, work his way back up, and clinch up. But the one thing I do like about the way Caleb, when he clinches, he tries to reposition to get his back to the center of the ring, which is very nice. Very smart move. He's a smart fighter. He's just not seasoned enough to kind of refine these little subtle techniques. If Caleb had more experience before this fight against some bigger name fighters, I think he could give Canelo some problems, but he's just not seasoned enough. I mean, why not? You saw him in the crowd. Why not take on a guy like Benavidez beforehand? Now, granted, I don't know if this is a mandatory fight. I don't know if, there's a big payday and, the opportunity is now to take it for Caleb. But, he just doesn't have enough experience. I do like when Caleb shoots that little triple jab. It's a nice little move, but he needed to kind of pivot out while he did it. He got caught with some punches. He gets caught with too many fucking punches, man. Nice triple jab. Instead of throwing that hook cross to the head. He should throw that cross to the body, hook cross to the body. You know, he moves well, but he doesn't change it up. He kind of gets predictable. And Uzi just not giving a fuck. He's not threatened by Caleb's power. Nice hook. That's that combination I was talking about. He likes throwing that double hook to the body and double hook to the head. Now, once again, that wasn't a result of power. That was a flash knockdown. And take note of this right here. Look how Uzi gets right back into action. And he's putting pressure. He's looking for the fight. That tells you he's not afraid of Caleb's power. He got knocked down twice, and that's what's scary. Uzi got knocked down twice, and he's still trying to engage and put relentless pressure on Caleb Plant. That's pretty much saying, I don't respect your power, dude. But it was a beautiful combo by Caleb. Came down to the body with the hook, came back up to the top. I think he throws a right hook to the body, left hook to the body, and came up with a hook to the top. And Uzi was off balance, a little too square probably. But once again, you know, I don't think that was so much power as it was catching Uzi off balance. I think Uzi was trying to pull back when his head was over his toes, and he got caught with that hook, and he got sat down. But this is not a good sign. How Uzi's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to walk you down. Knocked down twice. Usually guys get knocked down. They're trying to kind of regain their senses. You know, maybe even grapple or clinch. Settle down. Uzi gets right back to work trying to cut off the ring. It's unfortunate he doesn't use his jab. More right hooks to the body. That's what's going to kill Plant. That right hook to the body, man. I'm telling you. Caleb's still trying to get respect. Nice clinch. Look how he repositions towards the center. So, nice job by Caleb. But, I mean, this is evidence. Let's check this out real quick. Look how he gets caught. Right hook to the body, left hook to the body, left hook to the head. Yeah, he's caught off balance. Uzi's not... His center of gravity's off when this happens. Bang. You know, wanted to trade hooks. A little too square in his stance. But, I mean, look at that cut. That's I don't know if that came from a headbutt or something. Maybe it did, but if not, that's an indication he's getting touched up at times. And you can't afford to get hit like that against Canelo. You can't afford to let him touch you up, man. A punch here and there is okay, but getting caught in every round, whoo, cannot let that happen in the Canelo fight. Cannot get touched up. Uzi's a pretty big dude, though. I mean, if Caleb's 6'1", I can't imagine how big fucking Uzi is. Not respecting Caleb Plant's power. Still putting pressure. Caleb trying to establish his jab. See, it's almost like Caleb's jab is solely used to set up his shit. It doesn't seem like he's necessarily throwing it. A nice power move for Caleb. He gets back to the center ring, throws his combination, but it was very stupid for him to give Uzi space to get off the ropes. Why not establish your dominance? You finally backed him up. You finally got the center of the ring. You finally got Uzi's back to the ropes. Stay in front of him. Why would you pivot out? I understand he was trying to hit a hook from a different angle, but, you know, right there, I would have tried to show the refs, like, I'm in control of this shit. I'm moving when I want to move. He ain't making me move. And right now, I believe Uzi's making Caleb Plant move. Caleb Plant's winning, but he's being forced to move. And he's forced to do a lot of drastic things in terms of letting his hands fly. And he's taking lots of risk of letting his hands go. And he's getting caught with some punches in the process. Yeah, see, look at that. See, he uses his jab to set up his combinations. I wish he would use his jab more to disrupt the timing and rhythm of Uzi. Now, anytime you land a jab, it's going to do that as a kind of default. But it doesn't seem like he uses his jab necessarily to disrupt the timing and rhythm of Uzi. It's more to look for shit that he's trying to throw. I like how Caleb throws that triple jab and pivots out, but he has to be careful. Throwing a triple jab, you putting that lead hand out there to get countered. But I like how he lowers his level as he does it. And see, like right there, he tries to execute that Philly shell shoulder roll, but why pivot out? Stand your ground. You know, just lower your level, catch and shoot, catch and shoot. Boom, come up with the uppercut, come down with the cross. Uzi's forcing him to move. Caleb trying to get back to the center of the ring. Man, he's taking he looks like he's huffing and puffing a lot though. And that's the difference between like a Mayweather and a Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant moves, or Mayweather should I say, moves when he has to. Okay? Or just cross that. He moves just enough and when he needs to. Caleb Plant he lets his opponent dictate when he moves. And that's okay, but ooh, Caleb got caught with a 1-2 down the pipe. Trying to get some respect back. He understands Uzi is not giving a fuck. He's not threatened by his power. He's backing him to the ropes. And Caleb's trying to get respect. That's why he's engaging a lot. That's why he's letting his hands go. But Uzi knows. He's not winning, but he's making Caleb uncomfortable. He's giving everything, Caleb can handle right now. Now, can you imagine if this is Canelo? Uzi kind of he's a little sloppy with his punches. Sometimes it looks like he's throwing arm punches. Caleb just doesn't feint very much, and that's something he should add to his game. It's such an easy little gesture, efficient move you can do to really throw off your opponent. There's a little feint right there. And he goes down to the body, but it doesn't really seem to affect his opponent much. I wouldn't say that you need power to necessarily beat Canelo. But if you don't have it, you better have phenomenal fucking defense. There better be no holes in your defense. And if you got holes in your defense, then you better have power. Throws a little feint. Not great, though. Look how he gets caught with the jab. Can you imagine if Uzi just doubled up on that jab? Uzi's not the best pressure fighter. There's some things he could definitely change to be more effective. Caleb trying to get back to the center, making power moves, coming with combinations, throwing suppressive fire to get some positioning back. Good clinch by Caleb. He was getting caught in the corner. He knew he needed to do something, but the ref getting on his ass. Ooh, getting caught with some shit. That's another thing Caleb needs to do. He needs to figure out how to not be so predictable when he gets caught in a corner and on the ropes. Look at that, straight right. That's an arm punch. Nice by Caleb, but boom, catches a hook in the process. His defense is not clean. Now, granted, yes, like most people say, this isn't going to be the same fighter that shows up on the night of Canelo, but, you know, you're crazy to think that he's not going to retain some of these tendencies. Nice. Caleb smart enough to reposition himself. And I don't like the way he's fighting in the pocket, man. He's too square. He's getting caught with too much shit. I mean, he's landing some beautiful combos. His double left hook is amazing, but it's, to me, it's not worth the risk of, like, him throwing that combo and knowing he's gonna land it is not worth the risk of him getting caught. You know, instead of squaring up in that pocket looking for those hooks to the body and the head, you know, just sit, catch, shoot, you know, roll, you know, deflect, catch, shoot. You only need one arm in that occasion in terms of landing a counterpunch. Caleb trying to change up the look, not necessarily because he wants to. Almost feels out of desperation. He's winning this fight, but he's having to earn every penny, man. Look how he gets caught with these shots. This double jab. Can you imagine if Canelo's doing this? There you go, Uzi. Throw that double jab, lands it. He's getting caught with so many punches. 1-2. Uzi lands the 1-2. And it's too bad Uzi doesn't have a good right hook to the body. Like right here, I throw a right hook to the body. Uzi should be jabbing his way in from here. Caleb, I mean, he looks exhausted. I mean, I know he's in good shape, but damn. You know, Uzi getting in a grappling match, trying to soak as much energy from Caleb as possible. It's just so weird to see kind of a long, lanky fighter like this kind of put pressure. But, you know, David Benavidez kind of has that kind of frame and has a very similar style, only more technical and skilled than this guy. Uzi throws a lot of arm punches. Yeah, nice clinch, nice reposition. He's gonna need that. But here's my problem with, like, Caleb. He's just not. He's very raw. He's very raw. He needs a little bit more experience to kind of like iron out the kinks. It's there. It's there. The potential is there, man. But he needs time to kind of ferment. I guess that's the word. You know, let it ferment. Let him build. But, you know, obviously it's going down. It's fucking going down unless one of them pulls out. But this is the way I look at it. When you look at a guy like Mayweather, everyone thinks like, oh, he's extraordinarily more gifted physically and athletically, and he's more talented. It's not even that. You know, most of these guys who are professional fighters, they're relatively around the same realm of talent. What separates them is their discipline, you know, and here's what really separates Mayweather from other fighters: his discipline and his patience. You know, Adrian Broner is just as talented as Mayweather, but doesn't have the discipline and the patience and the ring IQ. And you can develop all those things. You know, that's something that's more mental than physical. And I think Caleb Plant, you know, seems like he's a very disciplined fighter. Seems like he has the patience. And he's pretty talented athletically. I wouldn't say he's as talented as Mayweather athletically, but nonetheless fairly talented. It's just, you know, ironing out the kinks and then getting down to the details. The devil is in the details, you guys. So, I mean, let me give you a reference. I'm going to phase off from watching the fight for now. I apologize. We're gonna miss some things, but I remember my mother used to make this spaghetti dish, and it's fucking beautiful. I mean, she cooked everything properly. It just looked good. The sauce was on point, but she would hold the salt. One small ingredient. She would hold the salt because my dad was diabetic, so she couldn't be throwing fucking salt over everything. And I remember I went in to take a bite of the pasta, and I was like, this shit, what's wrong with it? It don't taste the same. Nice double left hook by Caleb. That's his go-to special. But anyways, she would hold the salt. And I remember how she used to make her pasta with the salt, and it was fucking phenomenal. And it drastically changed the taste to the point I didn't even want to fucking eat it. And it was crazy to me how that one small ingredient in the recipe that was missing made the biggest difference. And that's the thing with Mayweather. It's the fine details. Like, he has this recipe, this meal he puts together, but he doesn't miss a thing. He puts the salt in there. He puts a little bit of basil on top of the spaghetti to set it off. He does these small little gestures and these little details that really separate him from the rest of the fighters. A lot of other guys gloss over those things. Or think about, when you make a cup of coffee at home. You put a little sugar, put a little creamer, and that's about it, right? But then you go to Starbucks and those motherfuckers put whipped cream on top, put some Java chip in the inside, maybe a little pumpkin spice on top, put it in a nice little cup, nice presentation. And it's not like that they're doing something, significantly different. It's relatively the same shit, but they add little details to really make their shit set off, and that's kind of the story in anything. If you want to separate yourself in terms of what you're doing, you have to pay attention to the details and really pop it off by adding little things here and there. So what separates Mayweather from boxers a lot is not so much that he's astronomically more talented than his opposition, or I shouldn't say that, than his peers. It's more so that he just pays attention to the fine details. His clinch game. Nobody talks about strategically using a clinch. I don't walk into too many gyms to where they're teaching how to clinch strategically. I've never even heard a trainer talk about clinching other than for trying to save yourself if you're out on your feet or you just got knocked down. I never hear coaches talk about smothering your opponent strategically, something that Mayweather does phenomenally. Those things really make a difference in Mayweather that really separate them. Both trade hooks there. Once again, like, Caleb's going to land his shit, but he gets caught with too much stuff, man. It's not good. But yeah, Mayweather just does a phenomenal job of paying attention to a lot of shit in his game that most people wouldn't. Or they never get the time to really get to a point to develop that. And that's where I think Caleb Plant is at. He's a very talented dude. I like his ability. I like his style, but he needs more experience to kind of iron out all the wrinkles in his style, especially defensively, and to kind of refine everything. He's very raw still. And now, granted, this is I think this was years ago, if I'm not mistaken, so I'm sure he's gotten a lot better. But I believe he's still roughly around this. And he hasn't been facing, the best competition since then. So how much better have you got? Now, I like this. He's hanging in the pocket. But I don't care for him squaring up and rolling left and right. Stay in that Philly shell. Like I said, he gets away with some beautiful combinations, but in return, he gets caught with a lot. You're not gonna be standing if Canelo's sitting right there in the pocket with you. He's gonna counter the shit out of you like that. I like that. Throw that uppercut, catch, shoot. Keep that angle. Don't lean into it too much. Fuck the left hook. You get caught every time you throw it. Once right there, throws the double left hook, gets caught with a left hook from Uzi. You're getting caught with too many punches, man. Stop squaring up. Look at this. I think he got stunned there. At the very least, he got overwhelmed. And why? Because he was squaring up. He wanted to throw that double left hook. He landed it. He landed it. It was beautiful, but not defensively responsible, and he got caught. You know, you can't do that, man. Like, it's not worth. The juice is not worth the squeeze on that double left hook. He needs to scrap that shit. I'm not saying he shouldn't throw it every once in a while, you know, sneak it in there. It'll be a nice catch and shoot, right uppercut. I like that by Caleb. But, you know, you can't, he's keep on ripping it. He keeps on trying to rip it. He gets away with it, with actually landing it, but then he gets caught with something devastating. And he's going up against a guy who's throwing arm punches, man. Imagine you got that fucking, you know, counter uppercut by fucking Canelo coming at you with the whole fucking pride of Mexico behind it. You're going to get fucking torn up. He just gets caught with too much shit, man. Right there, look at him. I think he threw that double left hook again. And right now, he's doing a little acting. Double left hook. Look at it right there. And boom, gets caught with the right hand. That's what I'm talking about. He'll land it, but he gets caught with some shit. His defense is not refined enough right now to take on Canelo. Boom, that was a nice catch and shoot. See, I like that right there. Stay within that Philly shell. Boom, getting caught again. Bro, stay in that Philly shell. Catch, shoot down the pipe, catch, come back with an uppercut. That's all you need. Catch, roll, shoot. You don't need to be rolling back and throwing double hooks and nah, just stay within your space, man. You're not refined enough defensively to get away with that shit. He's playing with fire. I hope he doesn't get, well, doing it again. Double left hook, gets caught with the uppercut. But, you know, he has the right mindset. I think he's fighting for a belt here, so you can see he's trying to get aggressive. He's trying to show the refs, like, hey, I'm here to fight. I'm controlling this shit. He's not quite controlling it, but he's boxing very well. He's landing lots of punches. But one thing you notice, when you watch, like, Canelo versus Mayweather, Mayweather constantly backs Canelo up in that fight, showing everybody, showing the refs, like, hey, I'm in control. I run this shit. I go back when I want to. I go forward when I want to. I fight in the pocket when I want to. I do everything when I want to. A nice 1-2 by Uzi. Nicely landed. And in this fight, how many times have you seen Caleb Plant back up Uzi? Maybe once he got him to the ropes, and then he kind of relinquished that position by trying to angle off and throw a hook. And see, I don't think necessarily Caleb's fighting in the pocket or fighting in the inside at times because he necessarily wants to. I think he's tired. I think he's tired, and he's trying to hold on, man. He's tired, and he can't move as much, and he understands, like, hey, I'm getting tired. I can't keep moving like this, or I'm going to run myself exhausted. I need to hang in the pocket. It's not necessarily by choice. Damn dog eating my shoes. And that's the thing. He's not doing, some of this right here is not by choice. I don't think he really wants to be fighting in the pocket right now, but he's not earning any respect from Uzi. And see, he's a lot. No, stop doing that double hook. Nice roll. If he's going to throw that double left hook, he needs to roll just like that consistently. And one thing he needs to learn is, like, he can't pull back while he's lowering his level in that Philly shell. Like, you can't just pull back and wait. You know, if you're gonna pull back, move your feet with it. Move your feet with it, because now you're lining yourself for the uppercuts and the right crosses. Trying to clinch. Look, he looks desperate right now. He's winning the fight, but he looks desperate. You know, if he's gonna lower his level like that, okay, you either got to smother. Let's check this out real quick. 1-2. Look at that. That 1-2 is going to be there all day, straight down the pipe. He doesn't move his feet when he pulls back into that Philly shell. So he's going to pull back. That's okay to pull back. But when you pull back, lower your level and then smother. Don't just pull back and wait, because now you got a 1-2 coming straight at you. And if you're going to pull back and you're not going to smother, then move your feet with it. But this is where that experience comes into play, because when he tried to do that, his back was close to the ropes. And unfortunately, he didn't have enough real estate to move his feet while he was trying to pull back. That's where that experience, once again, those fine details, like Mayweather knows how to execute. He knows where he's at all times. He understands, okay, I can execute this technique because I have enough space to work with in the ring. Okay, or I've created the space to work that technique. But that's some fucking Jedi Master shit, man, to think like that. Once again, throwing that double left hook, he lands it, but he always gets caught in return. This dude is not throwing real heat on his punches. Now imagine if Canelo's throwing those counters. You know, Uzi's still fresh, man. He's still fresh. He just doesn't have the skills to kind of seal the deal. He's doing this with a really fucking sloppy technique. Look at that. He's hanging in there. He don't give a fuck. Uzi's like, let's go. I'm the big dog here. Let's go. He's not even like a heavy guy. He's like kind of a wiry motherfucker, but he's tall. Caleb always trying to recenter with his back to the center of the ring. Little wrestling match. Uzi knows he's trying to wear him down, get him tired. Look at him. Caleb looks exhausted. He's earning every fucking penny, but I think he's trying to win a belt, so he's trying to show to the refs, like, hey, I'm here. It's the right idea, but he just had to pay a price, man. Nice. He rolled those punches fairly nice. And notice this, man. Caleb's jab just got watered down as this fight kept on going round from round. Just kept getting wide. Like, it looks very fucking faint. It might as well just be a feint. Like, seriously, his jab became non-existent as he got later in the rounds. Now imagine fucking Canelo hacking at you from the body, hitting you with counter shots, 1-2s, you know, lead left hooks, right hooks to the body. You know, I would not be surprised if Canelo lands a big overhand right or a big right cross to Caleb and just takes him out cold. But, you know, ultimately this shows us why Canelo is going to win this fight most likely. You know, he's just, I don't see. And I have watched some of his fights after this, Caleb's fights after this. It looks very similar at times. Obviously, he looks, you know, a little bit more in control, but that might be a result of the lack of talent in his opponent. You know, he's faced some guys who aren't the most talented, and, you know, he was able to kind of skate a little bit easier in those fights as opposed to this one where Uzi makes it very fucking messy, puts relentless pressure, And once again, he's not even doing it with a good honest jab. He's not working behind the jab. He's throwing arm punches. He's not attacking the body consistently. All these things are going to be available to Canelo Alvarez in their upcoming matchup. It's going to be like fucking taking candy from a baby, honestly. Unless he's drastically changed, within the last, few months. Caleb's going to have a handful, bro. Uzi just fucking letting his hands go. And Caleb too, you gotta give him props. I mean, he's throwing. He's willing to throw down, but I don't think that's the way he needs to approach it. I don't think he should be so loose with that until he gains control of the fight. Mayweather will let his hands go, but first he gains control of the situation. It's just like, all right, he'll stab the bull. He's the matador. He'll stab the bull a few times, slow it down. And now that the bull's losing blood and it's, pretty much a watered down bull, now he'll start slapping the bull around and fucking with it. That's Mayweather. But Caleb Plant, he's trying to fight a fresh bull, man. He's trying to fucking let his hands go against a bull that's still 100%. Or at very least, nice little spinning back fist by Uzi, doing little MMA shit. And Caleb's not consistent with his body attack as the rounds went on. Like from 6 to 12, not consistent, not good. Because you have to match your, especially a pressure fighter. You got to slow him down. I mean, both fighters want to slow each other down, right? For different reasons, but I shouldn't say different, but not enough of a consistent body attack by Caleb. See, I like that. I like when Caleb does that. He catches and shoots and comes back, right? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. And he's moving too much. Look how much he's moving, man. Like, he's being forced to move. He's not moving because he wants to. Like, get in that Philly shell up. Start fighting in the pocket to save your legs. You don't have to constantly throw punches while you're sitting in the pocket. Just do enough. Do just enough. Yeah, he's too square. I don't like how square he is in the pocket. Obviously, you got to square up usually when you fight in the pocket, but, he has that Philly shell in his arsenal. He doesn't have to. Yeah, look at that. I mean, Uzi put relentless pressure. He got away with the win, man. He landed more punches, landed some nice place of nice punches. Got 2 knockdowns, but those knockdowns weren't really a result of, sheer power hitting an opponent. It was just kind of turning Uzi into punch. The first one, he turned Uzi into a hook, caught him off guard, caught him off balance, flash knockdown. And the second one, he caught him with his back to the rope, or Caleb had his back to the ropes, threw the right hook to the body, threw the left hook to the body, and then came with the left hook to the head while Uzi was a little too square, off balance. He was trying to pull back, and as he was pulling back, he got chin checked. Once again, a flash knockdown, not so much a result of a big power punch. But the scary thing was, as successful as Caleb was in this fight in many areas, he got exposed in a lot of ways as well. He can be hit. He developed a cut under his left eye, I believe, and a cut over his right eye. I don't know if that was a result of headbutts or some shit like that. But his face looks pretty beat up. He gets caught with too many jabs, too many 1-2s, crosses, lead right hands. He got caught with some uppercuts. It's not good, man. He's got to clean up and refine his defense. He needs to change up his look. He doesn't feint enough. His jab he starts to stop throwing his jab as the fight goes later. Seems like he pushes his jab at times. Abandoned the jab to the body later on in the fight. I like his clinch game. His clinch game is not bad. A little bit better than I thought, but he needs to improve it. He's got a lot of things to fix, man. And obviously this fight was a while ago, but I've seen some of his fights after this, and he kind of does some of the same things. So, yeah, that's the film study, man. This is your boy HB Final Round. Comment, like the video, subscribe, baby. This is for everybody. We're talking shit. If you don't agree with me, go for it, man. Talk shit. I'm all good with that. That's what it's all about. We're all here to share our love for the sport of boxing and share our wisdom. And I'm not always right, you know, so I'm all ears, you know. I'm all ears. If you want to fucking, you know, educate me on some shit, go for it, man. And, you know, at the end of the day, we're all going to figure out who's right, and whoever's right gets to talk shit. So, yeah, it's your boy HB Final Round. Get at me.